What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today's gonna be another Kyokushin Karate training. And for those who are new to the channel, if it's your first time, my name is Leonard and I am currently vlogging my combat sport journey, and currently I am starting on my Kyokushin Karate trainings. And the purpose of this vlog is for me to be able to document this so that people could also take reference whenever they want to start their combat sport journey and they want to check if how many days does it take to get to this certain level. Of course, it would take a lot of time, but I am going to film it day by day. And if you want to help sharing this idea to other people out there in the world, please consider subscribing, liking the video. And if you're already into combat sport, if you have any advice, feel free to give me advice as well in the comments down below. If you see some room for improvement, well, of course there's a lot of improvement since we're only around like 53 days, I think, in our Kyokushin Karate training. But if you want to also create a constructive criticism, feel free to do so as well. Anyway, for today, we're also going to be doing some full training session, which is the usual martial art training session, which are moving. Well, I also want to talk about martial arts because a lot of people want to learn how to fight, and sometimes you already know how to fight, and people would still go to martial arts and realize that it really doesn't work. Because here's the thing when it comes to this dojos and martial arts, I just want to share this to you based of experience, because I've been into a lot of street fight as well, and I used to train jiu-jitsu, but not on a high level. I'm just a real complete amateur, and I don't even have a belt, so I only do like jiu-jitsu sessions. And I also was able to apply some jiu-jitsu when it comes to me sparring other people, when it comes to MMA sparring, because I also did some MMA, but not on a high level as well. So with all that being said, here's the thing that I wanted to share with you guys. The purpose of martial arts schools is for people to learn how to defend themselves. And sometimes the teachers would teach you how to actually fight, like do some striking, do some grappling, all that stuff. But here's the difference between a fighting gym and a dojo martial art stuff. The thing about martial artists is that the thing that they do is the smallest details of the basics of a certain movement. Like, for example, you see a lot of kickboxers out there do some punch and then punch and then punch, then they do the kick and they do this step back, step forward. Whenever they do that stuff in martial arts, that is what you are going to tackle detail by detail. So instead of you doing some padding in martial arts, they are going to like explain why do you need to do this certain movement, why do you need to move forward using this, so that you will be able to follow up with this kick, this thing, so on and so forth. So basically, the basics of the basics is what you are doing in martial art. If I'm going to compare it, fighting gym is for people that are going to turn pro or just knows how to fight on some level, and they just want to like increase their fighting capability. Martial arts is for people that it's like the kindergarten of fighting. So basically it's like that's where they teach you how to do your ABCDE. So that's pretty much the comparison of it. That's why in martial arts school I can see some people doing something over and over and over again and do some weird stuff, and a lot of people also wonder, like, how is it gonna help you fight or defend yourself? Well, yeah, for me, Kyokushin Karate is, in a good way, also is some sort of like kickboxing. The only thing that is the difference between Kyokushin Karate and kickboxing is, of course, in kickboxing you're allowed to punch in the face. So yeah, Kyokushin Karate in a way is also fighting, but at the same time what they do is like teach you detail by detail what you should do, why you should do this stuff. Because, like, for example, for me, let me give you an example. Like, my teacher would let me step backward, but he doesn't want me to step backward while jumping, because that's just gonna promote like unnecessary movement, and at the same time jumping backward is gonna, like, if you can't control it, your distance, you're gonna lose the opportunity to strike back. So he just want me to like slide backward using your back feet, and then follow up with your lead foot, step that back as well, but not too much, so that you could set up for a kick. You know what I mean? Those type of basics is what they teach you in martial arts. And sometimes you see they do some weird shit, like I said earlier, and it does look like it won't work in a real fight, but trust me, it does. It's just in martial arts school they teach you the really, really, really smallest detail of basics, and it's like they are like trying to like open a box inside a box. You know what I mean? That's how I want to describe it. And based on experience, I think, yeah, it does work. Martial arts school does work, because here's the thing. A lot of people on the internet, they wanted to like compare that martial arts doesn't work if you fight against someone that is like, let's say, Muay Thai kickboxer, which is also, Muay Thai is also some sort of martial arts. Kickboxing is also some sort of martial arts. But yeah, the thing about that is that in martial arts, since it is really, really basics, that's what they are teaching you. It keeps you like, it helps you have, by giving you more foundation to like your fighting style. You know what I mean? So you also gotta have to get that perfect, it's not perfect, that the right martial arts school that you need to attend to. So you gotta be careful when choosing as well. And here's another thing. Yes, of course, some martial artists won't really be able to like fight on against a fighter that fights on a higher level. Well, it depends, because sometimes some professional fighters are martial artists as well. Because here's the thing, those professional fighters, they spend 8 hours, it's not just 8 hours, more than just 8-12 hours of like working to fight someone. and they get paid to get hit. They also get paid to hit some people. Martial artists, they do some theoretical stuff, like they discuss and then they apply, and they don't really spend much time when it comes to like fighting, because what happens is they teach you how to fight and then they don't make you internalize it. So like doing some padding, like making the movement be internalized to you. So that's the thing. So yeah, a martial artist would have a disadvantage if he's going to fight a professional level fighter. Plus, they don't have a trained reflex, all that stuff. I'm not saying that all martial artists are like that. It does still depend on the person. But like for the average people, average martial artist, he's gonna be at a disadvantage. And also, here's the thing. Martial art does work if you are fighting against an average person. Because an average person, let's say for example an average person doesn't really know how to fight. Because I've been into a lot of street fights, and I also made the realization that a lot of people doesn't really know how to fight. They just know how to like, okay, I'm gonna throw my hands, and most of the time they're gonna throw their right hands. And then when both of you are near each other, what they would always do is they try to clinch. They don't even know what a clinch is. And then they're gonna do it like, they're gonna punch each other like that, and that's not really gonna damage anything. Like, it's just gonna jog you, but it's not really gonna hurt. That's the thing about fighting in a street. If you are a martial artist that is knowledgeable enough and trained enough, and if you fight someone that is an average guy that doesn't know how to fight, and you also have to consider the fact that some other people are actually just built like a fucking tank when it comes to mentality, that some fucking people are just, even if they don't know how to fight, they know how to last. Like, they know how not to go down or not get knocked out. There are people like that out there. So yeah, being a martial artist does have an advantage in a street fight, but if you are going to fight someone that is on a professional level, even amateur level, because amateur level is also somehow like intense trained people, you know what I mean? So yeah, martial artists are just some, I think you could compare them to like hobbyists, if you know what I mean. That's my opinion, since it is also based on my experience, and some other people out there might have a different experience. If you have like a different experience in the street, like other people doesn't really gang up against you, or maybe you are in an area that a lot of people in your area knows how to box, that might be the case. And yeah, that's just my opinion, and I think it's also gonna help other people out there decide on whatever course of like fighting they want, because some other people just want to learn self-defense. Some other people really wants to improve their fighting capabilities. Well, like me, I want to improve my fighting capability, and I also wanted to fight in a professional stage. That's what I wanted to be. So yeah, I still have a lot of room for improvement, and as I can see as well, this vlogging also gives me some time to like reflect on how I do my training. Sometimes I tend to like realize that I'm not putting enough time when it comes to me doing this. Well, when it comes to like from 1 p.m. until 7 at night, I train. Like, well, I do have some breaks, like water breaks, but I don't eat or do other activity, but only training Kyokushin Karate and other stuff like boxing, because I also used to do boxing, so that but that thing actually nowadays I'm not really consistent when it comes to boxing. I'm actually working on my kicks. So yeah. Anyway, today's just gonna be like some normal average martial arts session for a Kyokushin Karate, and we're gonna be discussing some other stuff as well in the future. I just need to like go train now because we're currently running out of time. And yeah, I guess if I'm not able to like film anything later, I guess I'll just have to see you guys on the next Kyokushin Karate training.